If you are in your 50s and you're depressed, there are three things I would recommend that you do today and then snap out of it. You see, depression is not good at any age. Depression is not good in your 20s, it's not good in your 30s, it's not even good in your 40s. But in your 50s, it's particularly terrible. It's a luxury that you cannot afford in your 50s. And there are several reasons for that. The first one is the fact that depression, nothing good comes out of depression. Nothing good comes out of depression. It's not serving any utility in your life. Depression always goes down. And then in your 50, you are not as physically, generally speaking, you're not as physically, let me say fit, but I'm saying that loosely because some people are more physically fit in their 50s and in their 60s than they were in their 30s. Yours truly being a case in point. But generally, your body can take a lot more things in your younger years than it can take now that you're in your 50s. So depression is not good on you in your 50s. It's not good on you in your 50s. Secondly, it not only tears down your body and then tears down your mind, it robs you of that energy that you need to move your life forward. Thirdly, in your 50s, I assume that you're a parent, if you had married and then you have children. Leading a family, being a parent, a depressed parent in your 50s, especially if you didn't marry early and you still have young children who are in primary and secondary school, you cannot afford depression because depression messes up the mood in the whole house. It affects everybody. It affects the children. It affects your spouse. So depression not only drags you down, it also drags down all the people around you. All of you listening here, can you tell me what it has been like, what it's usually like being around a depressed person? Just say it in one word. Type the word that comes to your mind. What is it like usually being around a depressed person? For me, it's not usually fun. It's very, very difficult, being around a depressed person. And so, if you're in your 50s and you're depressed and you're grumpy, and you are just immobilized, by the depression, you don't make a good company. You don't make a good company to your loved ones. You don't make a good company to your friends. You don't make a good company to your society. And so, there are three things that you are going to do if you're in your 50s and then you are depressed. There are three things I'm going to tell you to do right now. And then you snap out of it quickly. You see, because you are at this point where you should be creating legacies, not just for your own family, your own children, but also for the community, for people around you. And I can tell you that a depressed person is not a productive person. Please type it in the comment section. Everybody, a depressed person, a depressed individual is not a productive individual. You are most productive when you are in your flow state, when you are in that flow state where you lose the sense of time and, the sense of space and you're just, so I'm in the flow state. I get myself in the flow state every single day and I produce like crazy. Today alone, I've written a meditation that's gone global. I have written different kinds of content. I have attended to so many coaching clients today. And then here I am toward the end of the day. I'm also doing this. So I've had energy to do all kinds of things within the day. I've even helped people, who were depressed today. Because I hate depression. I personally hate depression. I hate depression. And so I hate depression for what it does to people. Because what depression does is rob you of your identity, of who you really are. Depression lies to you. Please type it in the comment section. Depression is a liar. You see, because when depression comes, it distorts your entire view of your identity and of what you are capable of producing. So depression is a lie. Depression tells a lie. It tells you a lie. Depression tells you that there is no hope. Because like somebody observed, when there is no hope in the future, there is no power in the present. So depression is robbing you of power because it's telling you a lie that there is no hope in the future. I want to make one more comment about depression, and then I can talk about the three things that you will do to come out of depression. Now, with the people, many people in their 40s and 50s whom I have helped when it came to depression, there's always something common about people in their 50s being depressed and people in their 40s. So many times they feel that they haven't really done well in their lives. They look behind their 54 years, their 51 years, their 48 years. They look behind them and they say there's nothing to show for it. And then one particular gentleman said, I have worked for 30 years and I look back, there's nothing to pay for it. Another 51-year-old said, oh, but look at me at this age. I'm still struggling to pay rent. I don't have my own house. I'm still struggling to pay school fees for the children at 51. And so there's something that has to do with how people have viewed their past, that they didn't do well. And so it makes them feel sad. And coupled with that, because I won't say that the external circumstances are actually the cause, of depression. I won't say that it's the economy and all that, because in the history of the world, there have been good times and bad times. There have been very bad economies. There have been, so I'm discovering that what's creating the depression is not what's happening outside of you. You see, but it's the way you are processing the things going on inside of you. So for many people in their 50s, they look back and then they feel disappointed that all these years have gone by and they are still struggling with certain things that they should have dealt with like 20 years before this time. The other thing I discover that complicates depression for people in their 50s and also in their 40s is they look around, is what I call unwise comparisons. Comparison in the society is depressing a lot of people. It's responsible for a lot of depression. Because people look at themselves and then they look at their neighbors or they look at their friends and their colleagues and then they try to compare. Oh, they say, look at my secondary school classmate. We hear about him every day. He's in the papers. He's on social media. He's doing very well. He has houses in London, in Paris. He has houses in Dubai. He talks big business. Like I have someone like that, who talks big business, This guy would invest $20 million in this deal. He's investing $2.5 million in this deal. Young man that I had known in school. And so people look at these things and then they compare. When you compare yourself with all these people who are seemingly doing extremely well in the society, why wouldn't you be depressed? You see, that's why the Apostle Paul said, those who compare themselves with themselves are not wise. And so comparing yourself where you are, comparing the size of your house with your neighbors, and comparing the type of car you are riding with other people, comparing another person, another woman's husband, because it also happens to women. They tell their husband, don't you see that man? He's a man like you, which is a horrible thing to say to a man. You're comparing your husband with another person. Say he's a man like you. Look at, you just bought a car for his wife, and you only have a bike that you're riding. We still take taxi, we still jump keke, like in Nigeria. And then you're telling your husband that, and then we've been married for 20-something years. You've never bought me a car. You've never taken me to Dubai. But look at that man. Look at, they just got married 3 years ago. Look at where he has taken the wife. He's taking the wife to the Caribbean. They've had a cruise ship and things like that. So all those comparisons, unwise comparisons, create a lot of depression. So what are the three things I want you to do? I want you to do tonight. Take notes, write it in the comment section as I mentioned them. These are the things you will do. If you are depressed and then you're in your 40s and your 50s, so snap out of it today. Snap out of it. Because life is exciting, and this is the best time to be alive. This is truly the best time to be alive. So step number 1, give thanks. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is a depression smasher. Type it. I want someone to type it in the comment section. Everywhere, YouTube, Facebook, type it in the comment section. Gratitude is a depression smasher. I just want you to imagine a very heavy hammer and then a huge wooden door. And I just want you to imagine this hammer hitting this door. Very, very, very big hammer just hitting this door. And then this door bursts open. I want you to say gratitude like that. So let's say that door is the door where you are imprisoned in the dark house of depression. So you find yourself, just follow the imagery. So you're locked in all alone in this dark house. The whole house is painted black, and there is just one door in this house. But then imagine yourself, you just have such big hammer, very huge sledgehammer, and then approach this door with that huge sledgehammer and smash that door open. That's exactly what gratitude does. Gratitude is a depression smasher. So here's what I want you to do. Take your journal, lady, gentleman, take your journal, make a list of 100 things that you're grateful for. This exercise will change your life and it will surprise you. I do it often. I practice gratitude. I practice gratitude daily. And in fact, there was a time, I have to start that again. There was a time I actually kept a gratitude journal. So every night I have to identify 3 things in that particular day that I was thankful for, that I will thank God for. And it was amazing. It was amazing. Gratitude will change your life forever. Gratitude will open your eyes to the things going for you, which your depression wouldn't let you see. Gratitude will open your eyes to the blessings you had, to the opportunities that you have around you. You couldn't see it because you were looking at your neighbors. You were looking at your colleagues' success and not your own. So make a list of 100 things that you are grateful for. Look at it. You're 51. You're 45. You're 54. Your prostate is still intact. Your kidneys are still functioning at 54. Lady, gentleman, be grateful. I'm almost 60 myself, and I do not have any health issue. That is gratitude. And I can't remember the last time I went to sleep in the hospital, or even the last time I took tablets. Somebody came to my house the other day. Daddy, do you have paracetamol? Paracetamol what? I can hardly spell paracetamol. So I'm grateful for that. Be grateful. Those little things. Be grateful for you have a family. You have a husband. You have a wife. You have children. Write it down. Be grateful for that. You probably even have a job. Write it down. Be grateful for that. 100 things that you are grateful for. People you have met in your life. Uncles, aunts, relations, friends, bosses in the workplace who have been a great blessing to you. Write those things down. Gifts that you have, abilities that you have. You probably speak 3-4 languages. Be thankful for that. You probably play the guitar like I do. Be thankful for that. You probably have technical skills, whatever. Write down all the things you're grateful for. That first step alone is going to snap you out of depression. Number 2, and it's getting hard, but if you're serious about snapping out of depression, throw away your television. And then in some respects, the social media has replaced television for some. But people are still addicted to television and addicted to the news. I do not have a television in my house, and I don't plan to have any till I die. I don't. And when I travel to different countries and different places, and there is a television in the hotel room, I might be in a hotel room for 3 weeks, and I wouldn't know where the remote is. Throw away your television, okay? And instead of television, as you're throwing away your television, build a library. Yeah, television is not a very good thing for people who are depressed, because you will tend to turn on that television at 9 a.m. By 4 p.m., you're still sitting in front of that television, especially if you're watching all those media propaganda news. And then every 30 minutes, they are pouring all this bad news into you. Because the last thing you want is when you are depressed, is to continue to fill your mind with all this terrible, terrible news. It doesn't help you. I don't need to know everything about every kidnapping, every accident, every war, every missile that the United States fires against the Houthis. I don't need to know about those things. I don't need to know about every accident that happened and then how many people died. I don't need that thing. I don't need to know about all the earthquakes going on in the world. I don't need it. You are depressed. That's not what your brain needs. Throw away your television. Number 3, your environment. As you are right now, if you're depressed, there is something in your environment that is reinforcing that depression. So your mental clarity and your mental health and your environment are like what Nigerians call 5 and 6. They complement each other. Your mind, your mentality takes cues from all the things happening around you, even subconsciously. So if you live, for instance, if your house is filled with dark colors, everything is black, your room is painted, with very, very dark colors, the shades, dark colors, sunlight doesn't come in, you're going to be depressed. I got into someone's house who was depressed. The chair was black. The leather was black. There was very little air coming in the place. And then the whole place was cluttered with all kinds of things, photographs all over the place, and then junk and all that. So, minimalize your environment, curate your environment, clean up your environment, declutter, because clutter enforces and reinforces depression. There's some people in their houses are filled, bedrooms filled with bags and filled with stuff. Sometimes wedding gifts, they got married 17 years ago, 24 years ago. They still haven't unpacked some of the wedding gifts that they got. Wall clocks, plates, and all this. They're still there. And then some people, what they used to the baby's feeding bottle. They had their last baby like 25 years ago. The baby's feeding bottle and what they used to bathe the baby. They still have it. The whole place is cluttered. Declutter your space. Have enough fresh air coming in. Make it bright. Go out into the sun often. It will help you. You cannot afford to be depressed at 50. You cannot afford it. Because nothing good will come out of it. You've got to snap out of it, like immediately after this video. You do the things I'm talking about and snap out of it. And I want you to come back here and tell me about it. Now, part of your environment is also your social environment. You see all those WhatsApp groups filled with freighting and forwarding, which is what I call it. They're always freighting, forwarding videos. Bad news, something happens. The headsmen slaughter people, and then these gory videos are circulating. There's always somebody in that WhatsApp group that's always sharing tragedy, sharing all these horrible images, and then you pour these things into your head and reinforce the depression that you're already going through. You don't need all those things. So get out of the WhatsApp groups. I have quit so many WhatsApp groups, including alumni. Yeah, including some of those things, because I just felt that the conversations and all that going on in the WhatsApp group weren't very healthy for me. So by all means, if you're going through depression, you need to protect your mental health. You need to don't expose your mental health to more. It's already vulnerable. Don't expose it to more harm, because you need clarity. You need to put in the right kind of information. So now, if you quit those groups, it's not enough to quit. You also have to find yourself joining an empowering group, because if you stay around positive people, around positive groups, whether it's online or in your communities, in your church, men's group, they go out in the morning to fish, or they go out to jog and then have talk, connect with empowering groups, with entrepreneurs, and just connect with a different group. And if it means leaving the town where you are, leave your town. Leave your town. Someone listened to me like this, a woman, and then they left Lagos, because they said they have been in Lagos for God knows more than 15, going to 20 years, and things have never worked. So they moved to outskirts of Abuja. 2 years later, the woman wrote me, said, "Oh, I have a business right now. We have a car. We employ people. The business is thriving." So sometimes what you actually need also is to get out of that environment. Many of you have overstayed your whatever in the cities. You've been in Lagos 30-something years, 40 years of your life. You've been in Accra, Johannesburg, Cairo, all these towns, Kampala, and it has never worked out for you. And you are still there, struggling. Change. Go to the suburb. Go back to your village. Find something. Because right now, the whole world is connected. Many things you couldn't do in Lagos before. You'll be surprised you're able to do it in your village because there's internet everywhere. And then there's so much you can do. Peacefully, it's cheaper, it's healthier, the noise is not there. You have fresher food and things like that. So sometimes you might need to just leave the environment where you are, leave the house, move to a new place, totally different environment, and rewire your neurology. And then that can go. Okay, so in summary, here's an exercise I would like you to do. So take a page, a piece of you can use your journal. It's actually much better so they can store it. And then draw 3 lines, or you can make 3 boxes. And then you label one box, stop. Label the second one, start. And label the third box, continue. What I want you to do, in each of these boxes, write down at least 3 things in each box. 3 things you are going to stop. Okay? 3 things you are going to stop. It might be, okay, throw away your television or quit WhatsApp group and things like that. That's not serving you. That's not building you up. So you write that in the first box, 3 things you're going to stop. In the second box, write 3 things you are going to start. So you can say, all right, I will start exercising, because exercising is actually very good. Exercising, taking a walk in the morning actually can destroy your depression. So that's what you want to start. Then continue. Something that you've been doing that has been helping you each time you do it. Maybe fasting, maybe praying, maybe when I have devotion, each time I have devotion with my wife, it's like such a wonderful thing, for me, just reading scripture together and talking about it and then praying with my wife of 30 years. So I will put that one, continue praying with my wife, continue taking a walk, with her, holding her hands, continue doing that. So that's what I want you to do. And I need you to come back to this video and share your stop, your start, your continue. Come back here and share your stop, your start, and continue. And at this juncture, one of the most empowering environments you can find yourself is my mentorship for wealth. It's called the Financial Fitness Challenge, and it's monthly. It's monthly. It's enrolling, right now. And when you come there, you find people from around the world, people in their 30s, in their 40s, some in their 50s, who are also in the same journey with you. And then you can connect with an empowering community under my mentorship. So you can enroll. It's not free. You can enroll in that community by simply DMing me after this, and I can tell you how to enroll, how to pay, and become a member and have one-on-one access to me. I hope this has been very helpful, to you. And don't forget, this is the best time to be alive. Depression is a luxury that you cannot afford. And whatever happens, keep showing up, because you never know what's coming your way next. Talk to you same time tomorrow.